You're watching TVC Breakfast. Nigeria's border closure is having an unusual impact on the prices of poultry products, which continues to soar compared to other foodstuff.
TVCNews findings reveal that in spite of government's effort to boost indigenous production, locally produced poultry products are still more expensive. ERUPTION reports.
Nigeria's land borders may not be reopened soon. The continued closure is, however, affecting the prices of staple foods, but the impact on poultry products is rather unusual. Investigations show that prices rose mainly for food in the first 2 months of the border closure, resulting in an inflation rate increase of 11.61% in October from 11.24% in the previous month, the highest recorded since May 2018. Even as opinions continue to differ with regards to the border closure, traders at the biggest frozen poultry market in Ijora, Lagos, question the logic behind the border closure, considering that the prices of locally produced poultry products keep increasing.
The border closure, we were selling 10 kg of chicken at the rate of 8,200. But right now, as I'm speaking to you, a 10 kg of chicken is about 14,500, which is not even available. Nigerians don't have sufficient, no more chicken.
Our local people here, they don't use that opportunity. So, okay, so far they don't close border. So the chicken that is not supposed to pass 9,000, they are selling for us 14,000. Even before you go see this thing by itself, we have to beg.
So I usually buy about 3 cartons a month, and normally I would buy it for 8,500. On a very good day, when I'm able to price well, I can even get it for 8,000 naira. But right now, the price is 14,000 naira. The difference is too much. Salary has not gone up, nothing. It's still the same amount of money that I had before that I still have now. You know, so what that has done is that it has reduced my purchasing power.
It has been observed that the prices of other foodstuffs are not undergoing the same inflationary trend like poultry products. This lady, a regular at this market, gives an insight.
I usually come here to buy things like onion, tomato, pepper, yams, right, and meat, right. I've not really seen any difference. Actually, the tomatoes, I bought it much cheaper, tomatoes and tatashi, than I normally buy. The meat is still 1,500 a kilogram. That's what I've been buying ever since.
On the continued border closure, her perception is that prices would eventually stabilize.
I know probably that there are some things we need to do in the ports to make it more efficient, but it's a chicken and egg thing to get. Should we say, okay, until everything is perfect before we do it? I don't think so. We have to start somewhere. So maybe we need to take a little bit of discomfort now, but I think in the long run is the best thing to do.
As it stands now, it has become expedient for local farmers to increase production capacity to meet the demand gap created by the border closure. A 2017 survey on Nigeria's poultry consumption still reflects present happenings. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
Hundreds of thousands of Lagosians make their living selling food and household goods in traffic, providing service to commuters on the streets.
Many forget this act is unlawful and attract punishment of a jail term and fines. ADEOYE Salamadini takes a look at the fracas between the personnel of the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps and the staff of Federal High Court over a street trader.
Street trading is woven into the culture of daily life in Lagos State. Constant traffic jams and congestion provide a ready market for sellers to hawk their goods to commuters on the go and around bus stops. Despite the state law of 2003 prohibiting street trading and illegal markets, buyers and sellers would not desist, thereby causing environmental nuisance. The law applies to both those who sell and buy goods on the street and carries a punishment of 6 months in prison and a 90,000 naira fine.
We are not happy selling by the roadside. That is why we have moved backward. We are not financially buoyant to rent expensive shops. Government should help us with affordable ones. God help us.
I'm seeing the thing that I like on the road, so and I buy it.
I'm traveling to Ibadan. I just want to buy take it to Ibadan now. The cost price now is 700. Whereas in Ibadan it's 1,000 last.
It is the job of the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps to sanitize the environment and ensure people comply with the law.
Well, I think when it comes to street trading, it seemed to be part of the culture of the people for over decades.
Absolutely. Some find it so difficult. And then again, the cost for renting the shops is also another thing.
But however,
find them on the streets.
We need to move to a civilized way of buying and selling.
Absolutely.
That's how it is.
Absolutely.
All right, let's remind you that we are streaming live on YouTube, and you can also connect with us on Twitter using the hashtag TVC Breakfast.
Still ahead on the show. United Against Corruption is the theme as the world marks International Anti-Corruption Day.
At least one person critically injured and an unknown number missing after a volcano erupted in New Zealand. You're watching TVC Breakfast. Nigeria's border closure is having an unusual impact on the prices of poultry products, which continues to soar compared to other foodstuff.
TVCNews findings reveal that in spite of government's efforts to boost indigenous production, locally produced poultry products are still more expensive. Correspondent Ifunanya Eze reports.
Nigeria's land borders may not be reopened soon. The continued closure is, however, affecting the prices of staple foods, but the impact on poultry products is rather unusual. Investigations show that prices rose mainly for food in the first 2 months of the border closure, resulting in an inflation rate increase of 11.61% in October from 11.24% in the previous month, the highest recorded since May 2018. Even as opinions continue to differ with regards to the border closure, traders at the biggest frozen poultry market in Ijora, Lagos, question the logic behind the border closure, considering that the prices of locally produced poultry products keep increasing. It has been observed that the prices of other foodstuffs are not undergoing the same inflationary trend like poultry products. As it stands now, it has become expedient for local farmers to increase production capacity to meet the demand gap created by the border closure. A 2017 survey on Nigeria's poultry consumption still reflects present happenings. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
All right, joining us now is a poultry farmer and the president of Animal Science Association of Nigeria, TAIWO ADEOYE. It's nice to have you join us right now.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now let's say that your association, the members of your association are smiling to the banks now with the high price of poultry products. But talk to us. A lot of people have blamed the border closure on the increase in prices of poultry product. But talk to us, how is this really impacting? If you have to bring it down to everyday understanding.
First, let me thank TVC for inviting me. You are doing well on informing people about agricultural development in Nigeria.
Thank you.
Again, I also want to say that the importation of frozen chicken from Kuton or any other part of the world is banned. And it has been banned, and it's just that the enforcement was not too good, and that is why we have the problem. So farmers here now are being encouraged with what is happening, and we want to say that we support the border closure.
When you say the enforcement is not too good, how do you mean? Break it down.
Yeah, even right now, it's not total. You had a senator who was saying to us the other day that the president's room is not far from the border. And he saw that a lot of things were still coming in.
He was investigating it at night, and he saw some activity.
Some movement,
so we can say that it's not total, it's not 100% really. That we can quote the senator as well. It's not been enforced because there have been smuggling of poultry product into the country. But let me also establish that the product being smuggled into Nigeria is not good, it's not healthy for consumption. Our colleagues in the university have made some research on it, which we delivered to NAFDAC the other time. We have third generation fluoroquinolone found in the imported frozen chicken. And then another thing that we discover is that it's being preserved with chemicals that are not edible, that are dangerous to human health. So why would you want to go for cheap product in the face look that is dangerous to your health?
But there are lots of concerns as to the capacity or ability of local producers to meet demand.
Right now, that is very true. But if we encourage the local people, soonest we'll be able to.
When we talk about encouragement, what other encouragement do you need now? Because the issue there is when there is demand, we expect that supply. You know, your association should take advantage of the system to try to meet the demand and make more money.
Not just the association.
Oh, everyone who is involved in
the poultry farmers.
Yes, exactly.
But you see, agriculture is not like any other commodity that you can go into the factory, bring in material and produce. You really have to plan for it. And the initial capital or the capital outlay is not what you can just quickly get. Even if the bank release money, you have to plan for it. Then when we look at the situation now, another concern for farmers is the government policy. Are we sure that this thing will remain? So that when you put in your money, it will not, another statement will not come from the government tomorrow and say, okay, they have lifted the ban, they have opened the border. Then you suffer for it. So there is that fear on the part of some farmers to expand their capacity. But right now, I think it's so encouraging, especially for the meat, frozen chicken. For eggs, there is no direct correlation for egg production because we are not importing eggs. Yeah. The only thing, you know, as we are gaining, we also have gaps. Because right now, eggs are not being exported to the neighboring country. You know, I told you here that most of our eggs go to the neighboring country, like Ilila area of Sokoto State, Birni, Sabo Birni in Kebbi, and some areas in Zamfara. You know, all those areas, we export eggs across that border to other neighboring countries. But so that one is affecting even the cost of, the price of eggs now. The price of egg is also coming down again. So what we gain in chicken is what is affecting.
That's what you're losing in eggs.
But in the real sense of it, we are in support of border closure, and we pray that government is able to sustain it. For broilers, it takes about 6 weeks to produce, now 35 days to produce, but you still need to plan. So Nigerians should just be patient with farmers, because very soon
for how long will Nigerians be patient for? Because it's the Yuletide season now, and there are demands for.
Let me also tell you this: that even as at the time the border was not closed, the price of frozen chicken is about the price of homegrown chicken, imported. Imported frozen chicken was about even 10,000 per 10 kg. Whereas it used to be 8,500 for homegrown.
But homegrown now, the prices have shot up.
The homegrown now has moved to about 11,000. And the import 11.
Someone said 14.
No, it's 11. Okay. I have my information.
Okay.
I'm in the industry. You can still get it, but if the only thing is that it's not sufficient to meet the demand. I agree with you.
All right, talk to us about the strategy now, because we're where we are already. Going forward, because you were looking at, okay, you're not sure if government is going to, you know, lift the ban and all of that. But if we talk about the practical ways on how to, you know, ensure that these prices come down and that you meet demand and all of that, what are the strategies going forward right now?
Okay, number one is looking at the inputs, the raw materials. Even right now, maize is going up. So most of the time, you may not be able to blame the farmers for the price they are selling. the raw material is going up, and except we are able to get this material reduced in price, and then we encourage the crop farmers as well, even to produce more. So from there, the price of frozen chicken or other poultry product will come down.
All right. We have to leave it here now. TAIWO ADEOYE, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're watching TVC Breakfast. Now, Nigeria's border closure is having an unusual impact on the prices of poultry products, which continues to soar compared to other foodstuff.
TVC News findings reveal that in spite of government's effort to boost indigenous production, locally produced poultry products are still more expensive. Correspondent Ifunanya Eze reports.
Nigeria's land borders may not be reopened soon. The continued closure is, however, affecting the prices of staple foods, but the impact on poultry products is rather unusual. Investigations show that prices rose mainly for food in the first 2 months of the border closure, resulting in an inflation rate increase of 11.61% in October from 11.24% in the previous month, the highest recorded since May 2018. Even as opinions continue to differ with regards to the border closure, traders at the biggest frozen poultry market in Ijora, Lagos, question the logic behind the border closure, considering that the prices of locally produced poultry products keep increasing. It has been observed that the prices of other foodstuffs are not undergoing the same inflationary trend like poultry products. As it stands now, it has become expedient for local farmers to increase production capacity to meet the demand gap created by the border closure. The 2017 survey on Nigeria's poultry consumption still reflects present happenings. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
Joining us now is a poultry farmer and the President, Animal Science Association of Nigeria, TAIWO ADEOYE. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Glad to have you join us now.
Now, some would say that the government has put in place some measure in terms of the anchor borrower scheme, which it says it has spent about 174.48 billion through 19 financial institutions. And so we shouldn't be feeling this pinch that we are feeling in terms of poultry, especially.
Talking of funding of poultry project in Nigeria, first, I will tell you that these things are not real.
What is not real?
The money there, how many farmers have direct access, have access to this fund in the real sense of it? By the time, how many farmers have what it takes to access it?
But do some of your members have access to the fund?
Some.
Okay.
Some have access. But you see, when you look at the small holders, they don't have access to the loan. I'm sorry to say, even at my level, with my production level.
You don't have access?
The access is not encouraging.
Why is that?
By the time you're being asked to bring your great-grandfather to obtain a loan of 20 million, 30 million, you'll be discouraged. So the collateral is one of the major problems. I've been a banker before. I'm not saying that they should give money free. But what a farmer has on his farm should be enough.
Enough collateral.
Collateral. And that's an aspect that I personally don't really appreciate about this anchor program. Then the way you look at the anchor program is even different from the direct borrowing from the bank. It's like, okay, a big farms now want to be like a surety or guarantor.
But have associations like yours engaged the government to talk about these concerns raised in accessing funds?
Thank you very much. When you are talking about government in Nigeria, don't look at me as critics. How many people have direct access? The Federal Ministry of Agriculture is there. Are they talking to farmers? I came here the other time when we had problems with disposing our product, when we have serious egg gluts. Yes. Till today, have you ever had anything from government to that effect? In developed country, look at what happened in July to soya beans farmers in US. government got, I mean, the farmers got assistance from government.
Yeah,
Here
but
we don't
how about
that.
the issue of your association making, because you are the ones feeling the pinch directly, making effort and conscious effort to get to government and draw their attention to it, even if they are not reaching out to you? How about you reaching out to them?
Yeah, that's it. Many times, some of our colleagues don't. I'm the president of Animal Science Association of Nigeria. We have Poultry Association of Nigeria, of which I'm also a member. That is the association that have direct contact or issue with this issue of poultry. My association is a professional body, and we are also trying to ensure that we get in touch with government. There are a lot of things actually. I think we should hope for better. Maybe as we go into 2020.
Aren't Nigerians good hopers? We always hope for the best, isn't it?
That's what is keeping us really.
Keeps everyone going,
Once there is no hope, you are dead.
Once there's life, there's hope.
Yeah,
and so
hope.
we keep hoping. All right, we have to leave it at this point. TAIWO, ADEOYE, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.